preparing this live stream. We're going fucking live, bitches.
If it actually works.
Redirecting to YouTube.
It says Zoom in the corner. Are we live? It says live.
It does say live, so I'm gonna guess we're live.
Hi, if we're live. Are we delayed?
I don't know.
I just waved.
This is our first live show of 2
Are we watching ourselves?
We are watching ourselves on like a tape delay, I think.
I'm very confused right now, and I don't know how to handle this.
Yes, I don't know really what we're doing either.
I
But
just waved.
you know, it's cool. Like whatever, let's just roll with it. Like what's the worst thing could happen, right?
I'm very confused.
Oh, you know what? I bet I have to go back to here. Got it. Now we're actually like, but it's going. Now
okay.
we're in live time. We're actually watching it on Zoom, but now it's just live.
If anybody,
Guys, we are having the time of our lives trying to figure this out, and I have no idea. I'm assuming it's working.
I guess it says live, and yeah, but it definitely was a time delay.
Well, it's time delay on YouTube.
Yeah, but we did some crazy shit because we thought it was a time delay.
Okay.
Hi guys. Bye. Wait, we're here. Hi.
Welcome to Two Dads Drink, our first live show, which has been a complete cluster, to say the least.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a nice way of saying it.
To say the least, complete cluster. We tried to go live directly on YouTube, and it just would not work. It just kept saying that we are not allowed to go live.
You have signed out.
Hang on, I gotta pull up the Monday Night Football game too, so we got to do that real quick.
Sorry guys, we don't know what we're doing.
We do know what we're doing.
No, we don't. That's a lie.
That's true. That's a lie. We have no idea what we're doing.
The lie has determined that is a lie.
The lie has determined that is a lie.
Yes.
So, how do we watch this football game?
Is that primetime one? Go down a little bit.
What?
There you go on the left.
No, that's Brady. Time. It says live now, but then none of these are actually it.
Is it up under NFL maybe?
I don't know. Featured. This has us under
ESPN Plus.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is. It's live too.
This is the most cluster we've ever had to
you guys are just seeing the real shit.
Yeah, real shit.
Shit show.
So we're going to be watching the game while we are recording, and then we're going to get started eventually here. So,
yeah, we're just talking to you guys at this moment.
Yeah, until we're set up fully.
Which actually, if you look at the scorecard, it has nothing on it because that's pretty much the shit show that we had planned.
Yeah, we had planned to not
have any show. We were just talking.
We had plans to not do much today at all. So the only thing is with doing it through Zoom like this is like, I'm wondering to myself, like, how are we going to chat with people? But we did have 2 people originally that were.
I don't know if they're still there because I don't know how we'll have that.
I don't know. But anyways, let's get rolling. We'll figure it out at some point. This game is supposed to load at some point. So
but this TV doesn't want to work.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not loading anything.
It doesn't like us, Sean.
This didn't want to work either until Zoom came in.
Yeah, until I connected Zoom.
Correct.
So, what's our unofficial sponsor today, Sean?
I feel like we're in the era of 1884, and you can't see it because I'm looking here, and I need to look over here.
1884. What the hell is 18?
1880.
Did we have this already?
No, I never brought this one in.
Uncle Nearest 1884 small batch whiskey.
Yes. This is the #1 rated whiskey done in Myrtle Beach.
Didn't you say the Chargers have no defense because they just got a sack fumble on Derek Carr?
Oh, good for them.
For those of you that obviously were not in the room while we were setting up, Sean thinks the Raiders are going to win. I think the Chargers are going to win, but Sean's not daring enough to bet on it. So,
no, I just don't want to.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
Hey, not everybody's a degenerate gambler like I am. Ooh.
It's a sipping whiskey.
Definitely helps that it was chilled.
Oh, Mr. Bosa.
So the week that was, we should probably start by chatting real quick about Thursday Night Football. Did you watch any of that? The Jaguars versus Bengals. Did you watch any of that game?
Yeah, I watched a little bit.
I gotta say, Trevor Lawrence played really well.
Yeah. Told you it was better than he was playing so far, but he's playing under a rookie coach with no idea what he's doing.
Just made me wonder: are the Bengals worse than we thought they were because they barely won that game, or are the?
I thought they were going to be bad, so the fact that they're 3-1 actually.
Or can we just not trust Thursday Night Football at all? It's just a shit show, no matter what you are.
How long have we been saying this year that NFL is not trustable yet?
The NFL is not trustable.
What were we saying last week? Who was the best team last week?
I don't know
who was our best team, and it was not even a race last week when we had
Rams.
That's correct. Yeah. Who lost this week? Got pounded this week.
Whoa! Sorry, I was.
We're talking to each other ourselves.
I'm trying to get it pulled up on my phone.
Whoa!
So
too much.
See if anybody is chatting with us. It does say one person is in here. I don't know. If that's
too much going on.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to just. I was nervous that somebody's chatting.
He wants to talk to people, so talk.
Yeah, somebody needs to come on and chat with us. Anyways, yeah. So we thought the Rams were clearly the best team.
Correct.
In the NFL.
And clearly they got smashed this week
by the Cardinals, who
Correct.
now might be
the best team in the NFL.
Because they're undefeated.
Correct.
And they just beat who we thought was the best team in the NFL.
Correct. And they beat them sounded.
In LA.
Yes.
As a 3.5 point underdog.
Correct.
Yeah.
Good
job. Good job, Arizona. One of the teams we had talked about being the team for the show.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly. My wife mentioned the Cardinals.
Well, that's because she's from Arizona.
She is from Arizona. I just don't know if I want an actual contender.
No, we already made the decision. It's the Lions.
It's the Lions.
City Dan.
And Motor City Dan. And
I don't even know if I'm supporting the Lions as much as I'm supporting Motor City Dan.
Motor City Dan Campbell. We're going
We're
to bite some kneecaps.
We're going to get knocked over, get backed up, and then get knocked back over again, and then eat some kneecaps on the way back up. Man, he's hungry for kneecaps.
He's hungry for some kneecaps. So that was interesting. I thought Thursday night, it was a good game. It was back and forth, and since he ended up winning at the very end.
Yeah, I want to say two bad teams, but since he's 3-1, so
is Cincy the number one team in your division?
There's three-way tie. Cleveland's 3-1, Baltimore's 3-1.
Oh wow!
Yes,
that's crazy. Meanwhile,
Pittsburgh is 1-3.
We'll get into we'll get into your.
Oh, what's going on here?
That was a nice little reverse.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the biggest storyline of the week.
What do you want to go into?
Was what we talked about, and we're gonna have a little audio for you here.
Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet.
The weird thing is I hate Adele, but this song, like word-wise, 1,000% fits.
It fit it. It's that video. It fit
1,000% fit.
Should we leave the song on?
Sure. Why not? Just leave the song and we'll talk over it. I do think it fit.
Yeah.
Although I'm sticking to the fact that, and I told my wife this, it doesn't matter how upbeat of an Adele song, if you listen to the words, it makes you want to slit your wrist.
You're depressing.
No, Adele is depressing. I cannot listen to Adele music, but man, like she does not have happy in her body at all.
Does she look happy?
No, she looks depressed too. Even after she lost weight, she still looks depressed.
Hold on, we're getting to the power ballad part of it. You think when they gave each other a hug, they were singing this to each other, Belichick and Brady?
I bet at least one of either McDaniels, Belichick, or Brady when talking to each other. We made a joke about. Did you see that they have a Adele song right now? It had to have been part of it for sure.
All right, Adele. Good night.
Hey, enough Adele before I just find one of our 13 bridges here in Pittsburgh to jump off.
Well, at least we'll be on recording.
That's true. I'll be on recording as I jump off a bridge. I think we are still live recording. I don't know how far tape delay this is, by the way.
That may be good for the show if you want to jump off the bridge.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
People may view us.
our ratings may go up a little
for whatever reason.
Isn't it
There's
sad?
creepy people in the world.
Me jumping off a bridge would probably raise our ratings.
Wow, I think we would be in the thousands, maybe the millions.
Cowboys
Cowboys fan
fan
jumps off the bridge
because of Adele. Oh boy.
That could be our next short.
Oh, fake punt.
Oh, boom.
Oh, we're watching Monday Night Football.
And Renfro.
Yeah, Renfro just laid a pop. It should have been completed, but the punter took too long to throw the football. Like,
the punter is also not a quarterback.
But it was a good throw. He just took too long. Watch. If you want, the replay's coming right now. So snap goes back. And he did. You see how he kind of like
he hesitated.
Yeah, he hesitated.
He let you know he was going to throw.
And it was caught. And he just got popped right as he turned. I don't think he expected to get popped.
I wonder if Renfro played corner at one point or some sort of defensive position. Because
I'm sure most of these guys have played multiple positions throughout their life.
That was definitely that may even be a catch and a fumble out of bounds. Don't matter. It's not a first down, but whew.
Wow.
Congratulations, Renfro. You got a tackle.
He's on my bench in fantasy.
Is he? So what's been going on this week? I know in my week, I just traded for D-Hop.
D-Hop. Yeah, you did get a trade for Hopkins. You also traded for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I was going to say, I'm the trade king.
Yeah, you are the trade king in our league. I'll give you that.
I make moves all the time.
Too bad it doesn't help you win championships.
I got to the championship.
You just can't win.
I just can't win. I've been to the championship. I don't know how many times I've been to the championship and lost.
You're just the Buffalo Bills. That's all.
Oh, Dave, I'm sorry. I feel your pain.
Yeah, I mean, you're just going to get there all the time.
I'll probably be there again this year. We'll see how you do.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I have won it more recently than you. Oh, another sack. Derek Carr's.
I don't know if you can blame Derek Carr.
That's
you
true.
Probably blame the line.
His offensive line is not doing too well today.
You do need like 3 seconds to be able to throw the ball.
Speaking of not doing too well.
Oh, man.
You're Pittsburgh Steelers. You're Steelers.
Once again, you need like 3 seconds to throw the ball.
Well, I mean, where are we at with it? It's because when I watch the Steelers, now look, I understand the line's bad.
Mm-hmm.
But
real bad.
And I've been watching a lot of the Steelers, and I even watched the second half. I went out and got vaccinated.
Oh.
Yeah, Ian's vaccinated finally.
I've been there.
I needed it for a work trip, and so I just decided to bite the bullet, get her done. And so I did that. Like, I actually thought I timed it perfectly. I was like, well, if I did schedule for 4:45, the Cowboys game went at 4, I'll drive. Well, the Cowboys game went well into the 4 o'clock hour. So I thank the Lord for the fact that we have these wonderful things called cell phones.
And he was driving his car while watching.
I was watching and driving in my car. And I mean, not too much watching, more listening.
More listening.
In my car. But the fact that I live out in the boondocks.
Yeah.
And I was able to hold the entire stream. It didn't buffer once, right? It didn't buffer once. This Wi-Fi we have in the office
didn't work.
It buffers all the freaking time on us.
Technically, we are still going live.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that remember until I got that new Wi-Fi adapter, like the Monday Night Football game was just buffering every 60 seconds it was buffering.
Oh yeah.
But on my phone, I could watch an entire game. And now the NFL is smart. They're like, the most people that we can get watching our games is the best, right? Mm-hmm. So like they let you on the Yahoo app, on the NFL app. You can watch any of the primetime games
anywhere
on your phone without paying anything.
Prime Paramount, the new app Paramount, they have it on there. All NFL games on Paramount Plus.
And if you want to watch Sunday Night Football, Peacock, you can watch it with the Peacock Pro, which is like $5 a month. But if you're an Xfinity customer, you get it for free. So I listened to. I mean, the game was over. Like we were up 3 scores. Yes, they made a little comeback when we started pulling our starters out of the lineup, but we were up 3 scores. There was not enough time for the Panthers to come back. We'll get in my game. But anyway, so I streamed that. I went down, I got my shot, and then like by the time I got back, the Steelers were already losing. They were up 7-0 real quick.
Yes, they scored on the first drive, and then the Packers scored, and then the Packers scored again.
I think I missed the block field goal. That must have happened in the first half.
Yes, the offside call. That was not actually offside.
That was first half?
That was literally the should have been the last play of the first half.
Okay, so I missed that. I totally missed that. What did Romo say about the offside?
I didn't hear it.
All right.
I didn't hear him.
I would love to know what Romo said about that because I've heard it from the Steeler fans that it wasn't offsides. But
just watch it for yourself.
I'd like to see Tony Romo.
Everybody in the booth said it was wrong during the
I'll watch
game.
it for myself right now. Let's pull it up.
I'm gonna say in the booth they kept saying it was wrong. They even asked how they always go to the official.
Look, two dads drink is.
Hey,
it says two people are watching. So
is it us with it on this screen?
I'm one of them over here. So what's that?
Rogers wants to be a Steeler in a Steeler.
Yeah, that's just stupid. Matt McAfee's spreading crappy rumors. Although he knows Rogers really well.
Rogers is on his show every Tuesday.
That's his boy. That's his boy. Let's watch this real quick. So Steelers. I'm assuming if I just type in Steelers offsides.
Probably they're offsides Packers.
Let's see what pops up. Okay, we're gonna have to hang on. We're gonna have to turn the audio off, otherwise it's gonna be really bad. Okay. Well, that was tough to watch. He just went right into it. So Minka picks it up, runs the house for a touchdown.
But Minka's not the one that's called offside.
There's 10 seconds left to the half. 8 seconds by the time they finally score. Offsides, defense.
It's on Hayden.
It's on Hayden. Okay. Actually, we should play the audio. Maybe we can hear Romo. Let's see what's Romo saying here.
This is a huge call. Keep territory in here.
See, the ball's already moving as he starts moving.
Because everyone's in the backfield, so they can't.
Minka blocked it.
He caught it. You can't see it there because you have to see the ball moving from the center. See the ball moving.
This one is a play of inches, guys, and this is really, really tight.
Okay, so we didn't get the Romo breakdown. I mean, look, I did see the ball moving.
That isn't that an indication right there?
That's an indication for sure. However, I also saw what I hate about the punts and field goals is that the center gets to play with the ball a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly did one of these first.
But that's different. You're allowed to play with the ball
and
here.
For those of you not
up,
watching the video, he kind of moves the ball up
right.
a little bit. And it looked like when he moved it up, they started going.
He literally moved it up and then snapped it.
Well, right. It's quick, right? It's a
right.
Wham, bam, thank you, man. Right.
Correct.
It's fast.
But that's moving the ball. You lift the ball and move the ball.
I am not a Steelers fan. In my non-professional opinion, just from what I just watched, which is a few second clip from a couple of different angles, I would say it was so close. There's no way in hell I would have thrown a flag.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say there's no way I would throw a flag. However, maybe from a different angle.
Maybe from a Packers stadium full of Packers fans screaming at you that your team just gave up a touchdown on the last play of the half.
Listen, you're talking
to the loss.
You're talking to me,
loss,
and you've been there with me when my Cowboys have been fucked over a couple of times by the refs. I feel like the Cowboys get fucked. Now this week the refs helped us. However, most weeks we get fucked over pretty hard by the refs. So I know the feeling. It sucks, but at the end of the day, it was still a 17-10 game at halftime.
No, it was 14-10 at halftime. We
would
have been up 17-14 if that would have counted.
Right, but I'm saying it would. Oh, they didn't make the field goal after that.
No, they did. They ended up
at 17.
But still, that's still going up by 3 that they wouldn't have had.
But I'm just saying, it's 17-10 at halftime. So with that being,
once again, I don't think we were going to win that game. I've said it last week. I've said it numerous times. However, just as important as I do that last drive, that last half of the end of the half.
Herbert just overthrew. That's Mike Williams. I need my fantasy points. I'm in a tight game. Hit the receiver.
Nonetheless, you know how games in momentum go.
You don't see Herbert miss too many. He missed a wide open Mike Williams here. Just wide open, Herbert. What the hell?
Like I said, nonetheless, you know how momentum goes.
Oh yeah, momentum's huge.
Do I think the Steelers are going to win that game? No. Did I think they were going to win that game before the game started? No. However, getting a touchdown like that from your
odds
defense,
significantly improve winning the game if you go into halftime with the lead.
not even that kind of momentum, the way they did that, blocking a field goal, returning it for a touchdown at the end of the half, changes the momentum.
Ooh, ouch. Is that a horse collar?
I didn't catch it. I was looking at the screen.
Oh, flag was just thrown.
Well, or something.
So I'm now with my team because my team doesn't get the favorable ref calls, right? So I'm now to the point where I do what I do in Madden, which is I just want my team to protect from from fake punts and fake field goals. Like come out and prevent defense. Don't even try and block the kick because there's more wrong that could come from it.
Dude, the Steelers defense.
There's the
there you go. Renfro's all over the place tonight, by the way.
Renfro. God, thank God he's not hurt.
Nonetheless, the Steelers have actually 3 either blocked punts or field goals this year. One was the block punt that they refunded.
They blocked this one if we're going to count it. And what's the other one?
There was week 2 against the Raiders. There was one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I watched the whole Raiders game. Well, actually, I was cooking chili for the first quarter.
It was I think it was early too, actually.
Okay.
But nonetheless.
So your special teams is good.
Yeah, our defense is fine.
Your defense is pretty solid, especially with TJ back.
I think our defense's issue is the offense leaving them on the field a lot. To be honest with you.
And look, we talked a little bit about this earlier. I just don't, and I get that you need time to throw in the NFL.
Yeah.
But I feel like a Hall of Fame quarterback like Rottenberger.
Dude, he's not at that point of his career anymore.
He just needs to figure it out though. Like
he's in the remember Peyton at the end of his career, the Hall of Fame Peyton Manning, who couldn't throw the ball more than 10 yards.
I do remember the Hall of
Ben's
Fame
better than that right now, but not much.
Not much better.
Okay. He could throw the ball. Ben has his moments. He could throw the ball, but he looks scared to take a hit. I've seen him sling it.
He does look scared to take a hit, and when he does take a hit, he looks old.
Mm-hmm.
He looks really old.
I've seen him sling the ball this year, and I don't think his arm is the issue, which I was questioning at first. I don't think the arm's the issue because I've seen him sling it 30, 40 yards down the field, and the passes look pretty good. I think the issue is all in his mind. He took that elbow injury. He took that chest injury, a week ago, and still played through it this week.
Yeah.
Guy's fragile now. Where you came from Big Ben, who's used to running through people, pushing people off, that whole deal. You're at the point of his career where he's fragile.
And he's probably got the worst offensive line he's ever had.
Oh, he's fragile and he has that line that can't protect him.
So for you as a Steelers fan, now who do you guys play next week?
Jeez, dude, I don't even know.
You didn't even look?
No.
I'm curious about that. Because that's kind of game plan moving forward, right? Like who's this on the schedule for next week? But like, at what point in the season would you want the Steelers?
Denver.
Okay,
so that's good defense, not a great offense.
That's I feel like that's an even matchup.
That's kind of even
good,
right now.
Both good defenses, both pretty bad offenses.
Correct. Their offense is not going to be able to do much against our defense, and possibly vice versa. However, I don't know how great their run defense is, which means Najee may have a chance because, to be honest with you, all the runs he's doing right now are purely based off his own talents.
Najee's a fucking
dude. He did 65 yards. He should not have had 65-foot yards in that game.
The only thing with Najee is that, like, if the dude is not ultra durable, he's going to be on a stretcher by like week 10 of the season.
He should have already been on the stretcher the way he's taking hits, dude.
Yeah, no, he's definitely. I mean, you guys found a stud. You got one of those rare, Zeke Elliott, Adrian Peterson type players.
He catches the ball, he runs the ball, he does whatever.
He's strong. You just don't
have a line to give him any time, and he gets
like nothing. If you get him in space, he's awesome.
Dude, did you see his touchdown? The rushing touchdown he had? He jumped over the POW. He literally, when I say he jumped over, I mean he was way over the POW.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I saw that or not. I don't think I did. Was that the first half?
No, that was the second half.
Yeah, I did see it. It was just like
it was the second touchdown.
But he was right on the goal line, and he just kind of
and he went way over top.
Yeah, I mean, he's a stud. So like at what if you guys are 2-7, Are
So-
you hoping to see Hopkins or Haskins?
Like I said, mid-season, it's not going to happen unless Ben takes a step back. They're not going to bench Ben. They're going to play this season with Ben.
So you think it's whenever it's
And truthfully, I told you already, they're going to need a quarterback. They may go in next year with Dwayne Haskins, but they're going to need a quarterback. I don't know if they'll ever have as bad of a season as they're going to probably have this year. And truthfully, the second half of the season, I could see them getting a lot better. I still see them finishing 8-9. The way the team grows, they have good coaching. They don't have good discipline, but they have good coaching in X and O's.
But do you think once they're mathematically eliminated from playoffs, do you think they'll go to Haskins?
No,
Really?
they're not going to bench Ben unless
Okay.
Ben wants to be benched.
Man, see, that's tough. I think once you're eliminated from playoff competition, it's like, hey, Ben, we're going to sit you, save your.
Oh, do you think I think they should do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
If you want my opinion, what they should do, yes. What they're going to do is play Ben the rest of the season or until he decides he doesn't want to be out there anymore. Tomlin's too much of a respect guy for Ben and what Ben's done to do that. So they're going to play Ben until the wheels fall off, which may end up happening in week 5. To be honest with you, the rate he's going, I wouldn't be shocked if he takes a hit one of these weeks and he's gone the rest of the season.
So in it wasn't last year, so it was 2019 season. Ben gets hurt. You guys go to your cluster of backup quarterbacks.
Mason, Duck, who else was there? There was
That's
one
it,
other
I
guy.
think, right?
No, there was one more.
Was there one more?
Mm-hmm. I can't think of his name, but there was one more. Josh Dobbs.
Oh,
Dobbs was already
no.
traded.
They signed the dude from the Broncos.
That's right. The first round pick, Paxton Lynch.
But he didn't play at all.
Yeah, he did.
Did he?
Towards the end when
But-
Mason went down and they went to Paxton and Duck.
And I'm sure you understand where I'm going with this here. Like you guys were like 0-3, I think, when Ben went down.
No, 1-2, maybe. Maybe it was 0-3.
It was something like you were a bad record, right? Similar to this season. Ben goes down, and like and you remember me saying, like, I've never been a huge Tomlin fan. I like his balls. I think he's got a huge, like, I won the Super Bowl. Like, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want balls. Like, in the game you and I went to, the Dallas Steelers game, the Steelers win that game if Tomlin just kicks extra points, right? But he's just got those balls. He's like, you know what?
That was a lot, Ben.
We're-
That was Ben back then.
You think so? He's
Ben
like, we're
hated
just going to throw 2-point conversions on the board.
As soon as they
It didn't work
changed
out.
that extra point to 2-point conversion and they changed the distance in that, in Ben's mind, oh, fuck, why aren't we going for 2?
Yeah.
That was back when we had Heath Miller as well, who was 2-yard dump off the Heath.
I feel like whenever it's like a 4th down and short, he just goes for it, doesn't matter where they are. I like that about him. But I never thought he was a great coach until that year, because then he completely changed everything about the offense. They were doing wildcat stuff. They were doing jet sweeps, reverses,
Who
flea
was the offensive
flickers.
coordinator that year? Was that?
It was the guy before Canada.
Was it? I was thinking it may have been the guy before Canada.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's what I'm trying to think of because, geez, I can't even think of his name from last year. He's Ben's boy.
But if I was the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I'm not, I'm some bum on YouTube. I'm some bum on a live YouTube show.
Just talking about the Steelers.
We can't even figure out how to do a live YouTube show. I'm some bum that just likes football. But if I'm the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, I'm looking at teams like the Dolphins, like the Saints, like the 49ers that have limited quarterbacks. Because I think Ben's limited at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And what they do is they be creative with their game plan. And they bring in guys that have more mobility to run. Like I think Ray
They didn't
McLeod,
do that with Drew in the lineup when they had Drew last year, which was limited athleticism.
Yeah.
In his final year, they didn't do that to Drew. Peyton Manning. He actually got benched. You remember that? Who was the guy they brought in? The sucky quarterback that they brought in to replace him. But at least he could throw the ball.
But with Drew, they'd line him up at receiver and bring what's his nuts in to run it. And I think the Steelers have that Ray McLeod dude. I would let him run wildcat all day
you
long.
could do Juju can run the ball.
And a lot of those receivers played quarterback at some point in their life.
You could get super creative, dude.
Yeah, get creative.
Yeah.
Like do some. Oh wow, Renfro just had a bad play.
You could do a lot of shifting things like that, end arounds. to open up Najee and find a way to use Najee and open up
Let
space.
Najee run the Wildcat, like whatever. I
No.
don't care what it is. I just would like to see some sort of creativity from the Steelers.
The problem you're going to have is Dwayne Haskins, as much as I think he has potential, once again, running the creativity side you're saying about is not his specialty. He has a big arm. He can shift a little bit, but he's not a mobile quarterback. Mason Rudolph, no.
Well, then just find somebody. There's got to be somebody on that team that can run that kind of shifty, fun.
I don't know if we have a Randall L anymore.
I would think Ray McLeod or somebody has to have quarterback experience out of there.
Maybe.
Because the reason why, in my opinion, that you have to have some ability to throw the football is because if you run one of those plays and it's just completely shut down, but there's just a wide open guy streaking
be able to throw
20 yards down the field, you got to be able to hit that guy. Even if it's a lob pass and he can find it and catch it, it doesn't have to be great.
And I'll be honest with you, Claypool, Juju, and Deontay are good receivers.
And one of the three of them has to be able to throw a football.
Once again, well, even if it ends up being McLeod, like you said,
McLeod.
If they're open, if they have time to get the ball, they're good receivers. Don't get me wrong, Ebron dropped passes all the time.
It's true.
Deontay seems to correct a lot of those issues. He used to drop all the
Claypool's
time.
dropping some balls this year.
Yeah, he was injured last week. This past game, he didn't even play.
Johnson's been injured.
Johnson played this past game though, but he had
but
like
the
9
game
catches.
before he was hurt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Johnson went 9 for 12 or something like that in terms of target to completion.
I'm just saying, if I was a Steelers or I was a Steelers coach, that's what I would. I'd be like, let's just be creative. And they showed that they could do it.
This is not what the Steelers are going to do. This is what I kind of wish, but I also wished this last year on the Steelers and the year before when Ben went down, because the rebuild is eventually coming. It comes for everybody eventually. Somehow the Steelers have stymied that off for what has it been 3 decades now.
They had a slight rebuild in like the 80s. That Bubby Brister.
That's more than 3 decades ago, by the way. Decades or 10 years. That would be 90s.
Yeah, I mean, the 90s. They always had at least
they had the one
somewhat okay team. Like the O'Donnell teams were decent. The Maddox teams were decent. Right?
Tell me the last time you saw the Steelers have 3 losing seasons in a row.
Not in my lifetime.
Okay, that's what I call a rebuild, not losing 1 year and then coming back.
My team, on the other hand, plenty of those three in a row. It's probably like at least two or three of them in my lifetime.
My expectation is the Steelers are going to fight hard to the very end of the season. They're probably going to be a 7-10 team, 8-9, something 9-8, something. I mean, somewhere in that ballpark. They'll be in that ballpark by the end of the season. They'll figure a way of making it work. It may even be reversal of last year where they went 11-0 and then all of a sudden went on that losing streak. It may even be reversal. They may go on a losing streak right now and then finish the year on a hot winning streak.
So they finished the year on hot winning streak. You want Ben back?
No.
They finished the year just bad. You want?
I didn't want
Tomlin back.
Tomlin, I want a chance with an actual quarterback that can compete right now, but that's also going to take a line. But here's the catch. Remember last offseason, me and you talked, and I said about all the team put money to go build a team.
Hang on. I got to fix this. Okay. Last week I got put in the corner and I felt disrespected. I don't want to disrespect you.
Oh,
Can't have. Is that better? Are you?
that's better. I'm like in the middle now.
Okay.
You may be in the corner.
It's all fuzzy though. What the hell happened?
I don't know what you did.
Oh no! Did I break it?
It went in focused.
Okay. Good deal. I don't want my best bud in the corner.
None.
You purposely put me in the corner last week. I'm not putting you in the corner. It's not happening this week. I made sure that the wires weren't tangled up. Still not happening. Oh, it is happening. You're such an ass. I purposely pointed it out that I wanted you to not be in the corner, and now I'm in the corner. Jesus Christ. See what I have to deal with, America? We may only get 10 people to watch the show, but at least they can see what I have to deal with. Yeah, that's pretty even. So Sean fixed the camera. We love each other. At the end of the day, I love this guy. He's a brother from another mother that I never had, right?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So anyways, so anything else you want to say about your Steelers?
So realistically, what I want to happen is I want them to not tank because I don't want to see anybody tank, but I do want them to basically let this season play out. and let it be a 5-12 now, I guess 5. Yeah, it's 5-12. Something like that, where they get a top 10
That
pick.
one game is messing me up so badly. I'm
It
thinking
always
about
does.
records, right?
I played Madden and it confuses the shit out of me all the time. But nonetheless, I want them to have that 5-12 season, that whatever,
Yeah.
where they end up in the first 10 picks. Start the rebuild. And here's the catch. This is the part. Remember over the offseason, I told you, oh, look at all the money the Jaguars have to start their rebuild. Look at all the money the Jets have to restart their rebuild. Look at all the money these teams have. Guess who has the most money this offseason? That would be us at 110 million.
Yeah.
Guess who can build a line with 110 million? Because you know what? You've already said how good our front office is and our ownership is. We know how to build a winning team, not necessarily a Super Bowl, but a winning organization. We know how to find the right players. And now we're going to have money to do that, which we typically don't. That's where I'm looking forward to this offseason headed into 2022. Because I think the Steelers are smart enough to build the right team. They already got TJ locked up for his long-term contract. You have one hole on the D, or two. I'd probably be fixing Joe Hayden because he's just up there in age and he's showing
a little long in the tooth. Yeah.
Showing it. Tyson Alua, who went down to that broken leg earlier in the season. Yeah, he was 34 already. Big giant defensive tackle. He was already considering retirement. Yeah, that's probably not going to be a thing next year. Probably replace him. And then you go after a full offensive line. You let Juju walk because you don't necessarily need him. Like you guys don't need Gallup. You don't need Juju. You can go with Chase, Deontay, and James Washington and be perfectly fine. Najee's a beast if you have an offensive line in front of him. Pat Fryermuth is going to be a beast with time to catch the ball.
He looks like Heath Miller. He just looks like Heath Miller.
The only thing he can't do right now, he's learning how to block.
He's not Gronkowski, but he looks like Heath Miller.
Once again, he's learning how to block. He doesn't know how to block. All you need is a line and a semi-decent quarterback. Don't get me wrong. If there's a stud quarterback available in the draft when the Steelers are drafting, would I take the stud quarterback? Yes, of course. You draft franchise quarterbacks when they're available to you.
So if not, what do? You give Haskins a year, or do you go sign a quarterback?
I give Haskins a year and I try to find a left tackle.
You can get Kirk Cousins probably on the cheap for a year.
Whoever for a year. I'll be honest with you, anybody who can throw the ball. But I would, if there's not a stud quarterback at that time in the draft, at that moment in the draft, you're not super stretching for a stud quarterback.
Right.
Because look at Mac Jones. Mac Jones went 15th, and we'll talk about him again.
But that wasn't an epic class.
Correct. But that's what I'm saying. Unless you have a stud quarterback like that's that round, I think they need to go left tackle because they've never drafted a stud left tackle before. And I think in this day and age in the NFL for quarterbacks, that's a massive thing to have. Or a center, left tackle or center. But center, I feel like you can wait to the second round to find a good center. I don't think in the top 10, you have to take a great center.
Yeah.
But I think they need it because once again, watching this season. Okay, so you fear off the left tackle getting hit from behind. Everybody knows how valuable the left tackle is. But the biggest issue on the line, I hate to say this because I like them as a draft pick, but I'm starting to think he's going to be better as a guard. That Kendrick Green that we drafted in the third round, dude's just not good at center. He snaps the ball and instantaneously 3 yards. He's 3 yards in the backfield. That's why Najee doesn't have room because instantaneously those guys are literally off the snap, pushing him 3 yards back.
I gotta think there's somebody off the streets you could find.
Oh, there's tons of guys out there, but the Steelers just aren't making the moves right now.
Because some guys, and I have played a little center in my life. I played a little bit of offensive line. I played some center, some guard. I never got the tackle because it was never near big enough. It is not easy to snap a ball between your legs and then get your hands up to block somebody.
I'll be honest with you. If I was Ben right now, and this isn't necessarily the greatest replacement because he didn't have the greatest year right now, or last year. If I was Ben right now, I'd be on the phone. Hey, Pounce, this is my last year. Can you come back?
Hey, just give me half a season, buddy.
Just come back for the rest of the season.
Yeah, half a season.
Block for me. Let this Kendrick Green move over to guard because that's what he was in college. He's pretty good at guard. Maybe that helps us out at guard because Dotson's not that bad at the other guard. Then we still have some shit tackles.
So you don't like Turner?
What's that?
Turner's the guy you don't like?
No, I like Turner. Actually, he had the best week of the offensive line. I just know Totson's young and he has a lot of potential. Where Turner's a 1-year contract and he's older. And then truthfully, out on the free agent market right now, still Mitchell Schwartz, the Chiefs offensive tackle, right tackle. Russell Okung as a left tackle out on the free agent market right now. So there's tackles. If you really wanted to build your line on the rush and try to give Ben his best final season, here you bring Okung in, you bring Schwartz on either side, protect the tackle sides. You find a center, like you said, there has to be somebody who can play center. You have not even, just leave, you can't leave Kendrick Green because he just can't block anybody. They're 3 years in the backfield. So, I mean, you have Dotson, you have Trey Turner. You need to find a center at some point somewhere. Maybe Trey Turner's good at center. He's a guard. Maybe he can move to center.
Like, so the Cowboys had their line was last year, and like all I kept thinking to myself is like, why would they stick with these guys, and why wouldn't they just go? There's got to be somebody sitting around at home, right? And the only answer that I came up with, and it's not even until this year that I came up with it. So you can use Terrence Steele as a example of this. The dude was atrocious last year. Now he got a little bit better, as the season went on, but he's still, like, even going into this offseason, even the Cowboys beat writers are like, I don't know how confident we are in Steele being our swing tackle, our backup tackle, right? And then now Lyle Collins gets suspended 5 games, and Terrence Steele comes in, and he is dominating on that side. And now it's like, yes, it sucked last year, and it was a major, huge issue last year, but it turned into probably a strength on our team is if one of our tackles goes down, we got this guy come in, and I'm assuming that this guy is probably going to be a future tackle for us at one of the positions. So that could be, like, Tomlin might be thinking to himself, like, this season's over, bro. Like,
maybe, but I need to get as the guy that does that.
I need to get rid of Ben. I need to, like, and maybe he's like, I need these guys to get their experience, and maybe he sees a lot of promise there. I don't know, but because that was my thing last year. I'm like, why don't they go? And I was looking up all the free agent guys out there. I'm like, I know he's better. Why don't they make a trade a 3rd-round draft pick for somebody? Like,
dude, there's guys out there like the Ravens. There's a backup guard on the Ravens, Moody, I think his name is.
Yeah,
dude's backup. You can't, and guy's a beast. He can play guard. You can't go make it. I understand it's the Ravens. I understand they're going to overcharge you to make that deal.
Just do it.
But seriously, if you're really all behind Ben, which is what they kept saying this offseason, why aren't you trying to find somebody to protect the guy? You could already see he's scared to make him play anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only thing I can come up with, that Tomlin might be thinking about the future and like, hey, if I get these guys 16 games under their belt next year, they're going to start to become really good.
I get that. And I'll be honest with you, I'll take one step away. And I'm not even thinking about Ben as much as I say Ben right now. Why don't you protect your star running back that's already proven that, dude, if you give the guy a little hole, just a little bit, he's probably an amazing running back who may have a chance of winning the Rookie of the Year this year.
Or, I mean, why don't you just at least put him on a snap count so that he doesn't get hurt, right?
Right.
The guy's getting clobbered.
Oh, yeah. And don't get me wrong. Is he a power back? Yes. Is he a guy who's going to initiate hitting? Yes. That's his style. But do you want that a year that you're expecting to lose, do you want that to be that year? No. You want to save that for a year where you're in contention, which the Steelers very well, the way the team runs, very well could be in contention next year.
Yeah.
That's just the way they run their system.
Well, I keep thinking the Steelers are going to rebound, and they don't rebound. So I'm officially done betting on the Pittsburgh Steelers. For those of you that don't know, I had a nice 12-teamer last week, and I expected a rebound against the Bengals, and
that didn't happen.
They were the only team that lost in my 12-teamer. So I blame the Steelers. But
on that note, how's your Cowboys doing?
Man, like, I'm trying not, so we overreact all the time, right? And that's
especially
the title of the show, which we couldn't even put in the title. I don't know how to do that with this, but originally when we were trying to go live, the title of the show was Overreaction, right? Overreaction Steelers, way overreaction the Cowboys, because like the Cowboys just look like,
oh, you didn't go to your guy.
No, the Cowboys just look like at this point they're that team that like they're just gonna decide when, oh, you know what, we need to turn it on. Oh, we're gonna turn it on. So like I was so confident, and I'm never confident in my team, right? You know that. I'm just never fully confident in my team. I was so confident in my team. I've bet on them every single week this year, and I never bet on the Cowboys. Like I hate betting on the Cowboys, but I've just
Sort of like Tony didn't want to bet on his Eagles when you were
Right.
trying to push him to.
right. So it's like I rarely ever like to bet on my Cowboys, but I just felt like Vegas has had them like undervalued almost,
Yeah.
right? Like
Well, Vegas hasn't trusted their
it's
defense
Cook.
yet.
No, I thought it was Mike Williams. Yeah,
Did he
like
catch it in the end zone?
like week 1, they were 9-point dogs to the Bucks. I thought it should have been 7, right? So I got 2 free points on that. Week 2, they played the Chargers and they were 3.5-point dogs. I thought they were going to win it outright. So I was like, I think I'm getting, and they give you the 3 points for being a home team, right?
Yeah, right.
So basically they're 0.5-point dog essentially, right? But it wasn't a home game for the Chargers. There was 80% Cowboys fans in that game. So really it should have been 3.5 Cowboys or 2.5 Chargers, one of the two, however you look at it. But anyways, I bet that. And then of course the Eagles, dude, I loaded up against the Eagles. Only 3.5 points against the Eagles. I loaded up on the Eagles because I knew they were going to spank the Eagles. Right. And then I was like, I'm looking at the Panthers and I'm like, okay, first thing that I saw is number 1 defense, number 1 against the pass, number 1 against the run, right? And I think I told you this before, like Friday or something. I'm like, have you looked who the Panthers have played though? And it was like the Jets, the Texans with David Mills at quarterback. Like they just have played a bunch of bad teams, right? And I was just like, they haven't seen anything like what they're going to see on Sunday. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not a liar. I'm going to tell the truth. At halftime, when the Cowboys are down 13-14, and it kind of looked like the Panthers were dominating both sides of the ball, I was like, oof, did I overthink? Did I overestimate?
I think the better Panthers are better than we think they are.
I think they are. I mean, I think Darnold, he looked good.
I just mean as a whole. I think their team as a whole, because that was without McCaffrey as well. And JC Horn, their top corner.
And that 13-14 was with us getting a gift from the football gods of like a play where our tight end fumbled it, but was called forward progress. Like why? He gets hit and fumbles like immediately. As soon as he gets hit, he fumbles. It was called forward progress. So it's like one of those like it was a snap decision, but those plays can't be reviewed, right? So and it was just a beautiful thing for the Cowboys. And so I was like, man, we got that and we're down 1 point because of course our coach decides to go for 2 because we got a 1-yard penalty that I don't understand.
Did he even hand the ball off or did he try to throw it?
No, he tried to throw it.
Of course.
Yeah, he tried to throw it.
You have Zeke. You're on the 1
yard line.
We have
Zeke. Zeke's averaging 7 yards a carry in this game, and
You're
we're going to throw.
Right.
Yeah.
On the 1 yard line.
Makes total sense, right?
You have Dak, who is a massive quarterback that could fall forward
for a yard. So I was just like,
with the eyes.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know, man. I was really nervous at halftime.
Yeah.
But then
the Panthers are good. That's why.
Yeah,
they're good, dude.
Then the Cowboys go into halftime. They come out. Panthers get the ball too, which I hate. Right, so we're down, and we got to give them the ball. And the Cowboys just come out and just put their foot on the Panthers' throat, and they just dominated the entire half.
Yeah.
They were all over him on defense. Diggs, my boy Diggs, 2 interceptions. He got the first one just back in his zone and just jumped up and grabbed it. The guy's got great hands, by the way. And then, like, we were up 2 scores. And I meanwhile, literally 5 minutes prior to his second interception, I put on Facebook, like, he's the best corner in the league. Like, 4 interceptions in 4 games. One of them was a pick 6. And then, like, seconds later, he just jumps this. Like, he knew it was 3rd down. He knew that his team was blitzing. He knew Darnold was going to have to get it off quick. And he just, bam, jumped the route and picked it off. And I was like, this is what the Cowboys have been missing. They've been missing like a ball hawking player. And we all thought it was going to be Micah Parsons. Don't get me wrong. He's great. He's cool. You can use him a bunch of different ways. But this dude is awesome. And NFL teams need to realize that they can't throw to this guy anymore, right? Like, we cannot throw the football to this guy because he's going to get it.
The NFL will take a few weeks to still catch up.
And he was interviewed after the game, like, do you think teams will stop throwing to you? He's like, I sure hope not. I want him to keep throwing to me. I need some more. I loved it. It was great. and then the Cowboys, pulled a couple players out and let the gas off a little bit. I mean, it would have taken a miracle for the Panthers to get back when they took the foot off so I wasn't mad about that. Still won by 8 points. It was still, I mean, we got the ball back with like 5 minutes left and they just ran it down their throat, ran the clock out.
Once again, went into that game thinking you guys were going to win. And possibly, I think we even said this last week, show who the Panthers really were. Well, I think showing who the Panthers really were was showing that
I think they're better.
They're actually a competitive team.
Yeah, I think they are a competitive team. And of course, that was without their best player.
Correct. And I think their rookie number 1 draft pick at corner as well. Out JC Horn.
Well, he's out for a while, but yeah.
Yeah. But to me, watching that and knowing what the Panthers are going through in terms of injuries right now, I think they're a playoff team. I think they're that good on defense that the offense can literally be a 21, 28 point offense per week. And they're going to win 9 out of 10 of those games.
Yeah. I think they're a playoff team.
I don't know if they win that division. They're in the Tampa Bay division.
Tampa doesn't look that great right now.
They once again, another offensive team that the defense isn't looking special.
Yeah, they're having issues just like the Chiefs are having issues.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, their defense looks better than the Chiefs' defense does.
But the Chiefs' offense looks better than Bucks' offense. So.
Does it though?
I mean, they're putting up 40 points.
I'm gonna say
they're just losing when they put up 40 points.
I mean, the Bucks' defense, they can stop the run. I haven't seen anybody really do well running the ball against the Bucks this season. However, their pass defense, which they just brought Richard Sherman in, but their pass defense is atrocious. It's just horrible.
Look, I'm a big, firm believer in like everything happens for a reason. You know that. You've heard that. Me talk
I know.
about
Here we go. I know what I've heard this week already.
You've heard me talk about this. So we literally, so last year we hire a Super Bowl winning coach.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after I've watched him as a head coach for a while, do I think he's a great head coach?
No. Please don't say he is.
Do I think he's better than Jason Garrett? Hell yes. Okay. Yes. He makes some boneheaded decisions from time to time.
I still think he's a holdover coach for your eventual coach.
The future coach is on the staff.
So
yeah, I mean, and honestly, they could go either way with that. The future coach could be Kellen Moore, or it could be our new defensive guru.
Do you really want to give that guy a chance again?
Listen, they were talking about it on Sunday, and they're like, he went from being a dominant defensive coordinator to a good head coach, took a team to the Super Bowl.
He took a team to the Super Bowl. Do you remember who his offensive coordinator was?
Yeah, Shanahan.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what was that the only year that offense looked pretty good under him? Yes.
Yes, but he's a defensive coach, so you can't really blame him for that. But his defense started to look really bad too, right?
But if you lose a coordinator, you're the head coach, right?
And they were talking about this. So then he gets fired. And all he did was devote himself to like figuring out what the NFL game is now and how he could change his defensive scheme to be like that. Because the defense he's running in Dallas is nothing like the Legion of Boom he ran in Seattle, right? So I like that. I like a coach that could change and realize that like, hey, I have issues I need to change.
Yeah.
And to McCarthy's credit, like he was always known as a play caller. And he came in and saw like, I got this stud in Kellen Moore. Like I need to just let this guy call the plays, So he literally only has like motivation and time management. He was
not a motivational guy. I don't know.
Motivation and game management is just only two real things he has to do, and both of them he sucks at.
I was going to say
probably like we all have weaknesses in our careers or professions, and those are probably his two biggest weaknesses, and that's what he's in control of.
I was going to say he always looks like he is grumpy as shit.
Yeah, I mean he's not a motivator and he's not good at game management. So
what is he bringing to the table for you guys?
He put all the right people in the right place. That's what I'm giving him credit for that. And it took a year. Like he had to realize he put the wrong person in a defense, and then the right person just happened to be sitting there. Waiting for a job.
Got fired,
yeah. So, but yeah, I was like, we hired a Super Bowl winning coach. We have a Super Bowl caliber roster.
Mm-hmm.
I thought last year was a potential great year, right?
Yeah.
And then we had a bad start to the season. Then Dak gets injured, and our defense was historically atrocious.
Yeah.
And last year was horrible.
Yeah.
We flipped the defense. I don't think our defense is great. Maybe they can become great.
They can play. They're playmaking. They're making plays.
Right. They're sacking the quarterback and they're turning the ball over.
Truthfully, if you want my honest opinion about the Steelers defense, the Steelers give up a ton of yards. It depends.
Yeah.
But they make the big plays when it matters. That's why people look at them, why they're so good. Because guys like Minka makes it an interception or a pick or a fumble recover. TJ gets that sack or that forced fumble when he needs to.
Right.
Guys, Devin Bush got a big sack last game. Yeah, I can go through the list of the guys.
And listen, they did a couple picks against Tom Brady, a couple picks against Herbert.
Right.
It's everybody. Hurts.
It
doesn't matter who you throw at. We're picking the ball.
It's making plays is what it is.
We're putting pressure on the quarterback, and they're making bad decisions.
Correct.
So that's exciting, and I think they could potentially become an elite defense. Maybe not this year, but they have enough playmaking, and then their offense is just. I mean, it's the best offense the Cowboys have probably ever had.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, they're just elite at every position.
Yeah.
Maybe not tight end, but they're good at tight end.
Well, tight end's just questionable because who is actually the tight end?
Yeah, they interviewed both of them together after the
Mhm.
game, and like they asked who's the number one. They're like, "We're both the number one. We cheer for each other."
That's great.
It's like, yeah, okay,
That's
well,
great.
who's the actual number
That's great,
one,
but who actually
Jarwin
is?
had a nice touchdown. Schultz had a nice whatever. We have two decent tight ends, which combined, does that make one good tight end?
Not really. It just confuses and muddies. Just like running back by committee muddies the water.
Except for if you have Pollard and Zeke. I mean, dude,
early on in the season, you were sitting there questioning, "Is Zeke, what's going on with Zeke?
back-to-back 200-yard rushing games for the Dallas Cowboys.
I get it.
Oh my God, this is great. So yeah, I'm just
That's also your line is kind of your guy Zach Martin is back, opening up holes for people.
The Cowboys needed to suck last year so that we could get the best defensive coordinator in football. We needed to suck so bad on defense that we would devote the entire draft to their defense.
Maybe we need to suck so bad that we can get the best offensive coordinator in football, because really the Steelers, what they need with their offense right now is, I hate to say this because the team sucks with him as a head coach, but the Falcons head coach, Arthur Smith, if everybody remembers, tight ends offensive coordinator,
Yeah,
guy who led Derrick Henry to
he's not getting fired after one.
No, he's not. But I can sit here and say you got your defensive coordinator from the Falcons. I want my offensive coordinator because he fits what we should be focusing on doing,
Yeah.
is running the ball and building that up.
Hey, everybody wants to blast Jerry Jones, but Jerry Jones made his offensive coordinator.
Oh,
He made him. He said, "This guy's got a great football mind. We're gonna put him on the coaching staff." And then, oh, he was a great quarterbacks coach. We're gonna put him as offensive coordinator. Everybody's like, "What's he doing?" Like, now nobody's saying anything because Kellen Moore, dude, the play call. I gotta say, like, one of my favorite things. So you didn't watch
You're
any.
blushing again, by the
I
way.
know you didn't watch any of the game. You watched a little bit of the game at my house.
I watched it a little bit, and I watched a little bit at my house when I got home.
Okay, so the very end of the game, we're trying to run the clock out. It
Mhm.
comes down to like a 3rd and 2. We need a first down. We get a first down, we win the game. Prior Cowboys teams would have probably just lined up and just smashed Zeke into a crowded line, right? What do? They have Zeke and Pollard in the backfield. Zeke's playing fullback. And he's to the left of Dak Prescott. Dak takes it and hands like a quick little handoff to Zeke coming the other way, almost like a jet sweep, right? And then everybody collapses on Zeke and he options it to Pollard, who gets like 6 yards for the first down. It was like, wow, like he's been saving that play in his bag of goodies. Like, we don't need it, but like we need it. So like, I wonder how many more of these goodie plays he's got. Like, oh my God.
Good coordinators do that.
Kellen Moore, you're my boy. You're my boy, Blue. I actually liked him as a quarterback too. So like, not like I didn't like him as a starter, but I like him as a backup. You know. But yeah, so I'm super excited. Eminem halftime show. This could be our year, buddy. Everything happens for a reason. We need a defense coordinator. We needed more talent on defense. And we need an Eminem at the halftime show.
Guys, you know when I said don't like taking shots anymore? Can I take the shot now?
Eminem at the halftime show. This is our year, boy.
I've heard this about 17 times since I showed him that Eminem was going to be the halftime show.
I know. But who's Eminem's favorite team?
Lions.
No. He's always said that he is a Lions fan.
Correct.
Just
from Detroit.
Because he's from Detroit, but he's always rooted for the Cowboys because Lions suck. That was always his thing. So yeah. So
Motor City Dan.
Yeah. Motor City Dan. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super pumped, and it's super overreaction because like
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna just
You're
enjoy.
You're 3-1. Enjoy yourself.
I'm gonna
right
enjoy
now.
the ride until we face. We have a back-to-back week where we face the Chiefs,
Okay.
and then we face the Raiders on Thanksgiving. So 4 days rest, and we face the Raiders. So if we go 1-1 through that,
The question is,
I'm
are you going to
happy.
get 2 picks on Patrick Mahomes?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably
But you
not.
never know, man. I didn't think we get 3 picks on Brady.
Right now, I think Mahomes is better.
Oh yeah, Mahomes is Mahomes is the best. I mean, he's like a video game character. He's just like
Yeah, but he can make the throws and he doesn't make errors. That's the catch with Mahomes.
yeah.
He doesn't.
Mahomes. We could talk about that for a second. He blew the pants off the Eagles.
He oh geez. Him
Right.
and Hill throw 11 receptions, 186 yards,
Did you
3
see like
touchdowns.
I don't even know what he did with his hands on the Quiet Edwards-Helaire touchdown pass. Like, I don't even know.
By the way, I have to say thank you to a show favorite Eric for making the trade and sending me Edwards Hilaire.
I thought it was a fair trade all the way.
It was,
He
except for
needed depth.
Fournette hasn't done anything since, and
It happens.
it is what it is.
And
Hilaire
Edwards-Helaire all of a sudden
decided-
out of nowhere. Like, I would have told you when you made the trade that I thought maybe you were making that move because at least Mike Davis gets a solid 10 points every week.
yeah, and Hilaire was roughly about 9 to 10 points at that point.
Yeah,
Just
he
because
wasn't
he's
doing anything.
but once again, I make, and this is fantasy talk, I make trades off of teams that put 40 and 50 points up per week.
Yeah,
The Chiefs on a weekly basis put up 40 to 50 points, and he's the starting running back of that team. Okay. Cash me in. D-Hop, I just made the trade for. And yeah, he didn't have the greatest week, but he played Jalen Ramsey on the other side, which is
yeah, it's tough.
that's a tough matchup to play in. Nonetheless, D-Hop, guess what? He's on an offense that's putting up 35 to 45 points a week against anybody.
Who wants to face the Cardinals right now?
I wouldn't. Their offense is just like your offense. Their offense,
Kind of like rolled out and just ran down the sideline, picked up the first down. Like,
all those quarterbacks that
Yeah.
Eckler, that's not
and
good
of
for you.
course, Eckler, the
That's not good for
in
you.
my other league, I'm playing Eckler right now, so that's definitely not good for me.
In our league, you're playing Eckler. Travis has Eckler.
Oh, really? So I'm playing on both. Leagues.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I knew he had somebody. I didn't think it was Eckler.
It's Eckler.
Lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kyler's, I mean, unbelievable. The only thing is it going to last? You know, he's now had two seasons in a row where he did great the first 6-8 weeks.
Until he banged himself up at the end of last season. It was the same thing last
All
season.
it takes, you get clipped once, and if you're that size, you know?
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Any other teams you would not want to face right now?
No, because I questioned everybody. I would have said the Rams, but then the Rams just went and did that against the Cardinals.
It's weird because like it almost feels like the COVID season without the COVIDness. Like there's not been a ton of like I think my team's been hit probably the worst out of all the teams with COVID, right?
Yeah.
But it feels like there's just so much randomness to the season.
Every week, I don't know what to necessarily expect.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I thought Detroit had a chance against Chicago this week because Chicago's looked bad. And then Chicago made it look easy against the Detroit. And Detroit's fight against everybody. Yet somehow Chicago made it look easy. Green Bay's been consistent since week 1.
Week 1 was their preseason week.
Yeah, I was gonna say since week 1, they've been consistently good every week.
Yeah.
So I guess Green Bay I would put in that category.
Aaron Rodgers needed a man bun to be able to throw the football. Good, right?
That he needed is Aaron Jones.
What was my bet I told you about? Over under 1.5 touchdowns.
Right.
Over 41 points.
You still need 20 more on that one.
Yeah,
We're
on track.
I don't think the Raiders are just gonna lay down for the rest of the game. But,
Yeah, we're on track. I mean, so
and I'm waiting for Derek Carr garbage time. So
exactly. And then the other one was the Chargers to win or lose by less than 3.5
Right.
anyway. So yeah, it's looking pretty good for that bet right now.
yeah, you're doing pretty good.
I've been actually having a really good betting year, just not with whatever.
For a second half.
I'm just not with whatever I say is the pick of the week.
So don't listen to us.
Yeah, don't listen to the pick of the week. Listen, just if you want good picks, I'll just tell you what I'm betting all the way around. And you can pick a couple of them because I've done really well. Actually, the 4 o'clock. So the only game I really bet on was the Chiefs and Cowboys, and the 1 o'clock did great on both of those. And then in the 4 o'clock hour, I bet the Seahawks, the Packers, and the Cardinals.
Okay.
Because I like the Cardinals. I like the hook. I like when
I
I'm
get
getting
it.
divisional games with the half a point,
I get it.
And I was like, you know what? I think this might be close. And then sure enough, the Cardinals blew the
Yeah.
pants off.
You know who could be sneaky good this year? And they kind of been quiet and doing very well. San Francisco. They're 3-1.
Yeah.
Nobody's really talking about them because of the division they're in. And Jimmy G just went down for Trey Lance, and Trey Lance
You
came
think
in.
that'll
And,
help?
what's that?
You think that'll help?
No, Trey Lance went like 6 for 9 or 6 for 10 or something like that, with 175 yards on those 6 completions and 61 rushing yards and 2 touchdown passes.
I mean, Jimmy G's a capable quarterback.
He is, but he hasn't been that great this year.
So is he going to be a trade deadline?
I don't know. I'm really not. I guess that depends on what happens if he's
Yeah.
out. If he's out and doesn't.
What,
get
what
the start.
team would want Jimmy G at this point? Like Belichick's got his quarterback now. Dolphins?
I don't know. Tua hasn't been great. Jacoby hasn't been great. But if I was the Dolphins, I would save up my capital and go for Deshaun if I'm going to make a trade for a quarterback.
I heard that their ask is 3 first-round draft picks and 3 capable starters.
Which before all this, that was a possibility.
The dude is facing criminal charges.
Right.
Oh, we want 3 first-round draft picks and 3 capable starters.
Once again, before all this, that team that possibly you find that. You may even, depending on how desperate the team is, and if they have inside word that, hey, more likely he's going to be able to play, you may even find a team that gives you the picks. But 3 capable starters on top of the picks.
Do you remember? Like, I think it was show 2. I think it was when Dave was here, and I said that if I was the owner of the Texans and I just paid you $40 million a year to be my quarterback, and then you decided you didn't want to play for me, what would I do? You remember what I said?
Just sit on the bench. But
There's the bench.
Once again, I'm still going to state how dumb that is.
It's stupid.
Paying your quarterback.
I love the fact that as a fan, that's what I would do. And like one of the owners is like, he must have been listening. He must have been one of our like 14 listeners. He's like, you know what? That Ian guy, he's pretty smart. We're gonna just sit him on the bench, and he's gonna just sit there.
So you're gonna pay somebody.
Nobody's giving
40 million. No, they're not now, but back when they could have before all this came out.
Nobody's giving.
But
3 starters and 3 first-round draft picks for anybody.
Okay. But before all this in the offseason, okay, before all the craziness of Deshaun came up, okay, when they wanted 4 first-round picks. That was really what they heard was the asking price was 3 or 4 first-round picks and possibly a second-round pick or something like that. And you're a team who has no first-round talent on your roster. None. Except for Lamar Tunsil. Except for Tunsil.
Yeah, Waddle. Isn't that the receiver they drafted? Waddle?
No, he went to Miami.
I thought that's who we were talking about.
No, we're talking about Houston and how dumb they are.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about Miami not having.
I get your pride of seeing them bench him, but for 40 million and your team is not going to be able to build because you want to be an idiot and not make a trade when you should have made a trade. Because you can't tell me they didn't have wind of what was coming. All those lawsuits, teams have understanding of those things coming.
Just like the Patriots knew about Hernandez murdering people.
Correct.
And they're just like, well, we're going to see how this pans out.
Right. You know when things like that are coming. Yeah. You're not going to take 2 first-round picks when you have shit in your bank right now.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I don't think any NFL team is dumb enough to trade, even if he didn't have all the criminal charges,
I think Dolphins are.
To trade 3 starters.
I don't think
and
they're
3 first rounders.
I don't think their coach or their GM are dumb enough, but I think their owner is so wanting that he is. I think the Eagles, if it was something below 3 first rounders, if it was like 1 or 2, the Eagles would be in it.
Let's play the hypothetical. Okay, your team needs a quarterback coming up, right?
Yeah, but I'm not interested.
No. I'm playing hypothetical. Okay.
That team does need a quarterback coming up, so you're not really.
But no, I'm saying your team needs a quarterback. So we're going to use your team, and you're the GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And the Kansas City Chiefs call you, and they're like, we want 3 first-round picks and 3 quality starters from you for Patrick Mahomes. Are you making that trade?
What are 3 quality starters?
I want Deontay Johnson. I want Minka Fitzpatrick, and I want.
That's not quality. That's superstars.
Do you think Johnson's a superstar?
He's catching 9 to 12 targets, 80, 90 yards a game, and roughly 1 touchdown a game. What are you considering this? I would give the Chiefs their Juju that they were trying to sign over the offseason.
Okay, so Juju, we'll throw Juju.
Okay.
Okay, you think Minka's a superstar?
I know Minka's a superstar. He's a top 4 safety in the league.
I don't think you guys don't have any like real like you either have superstars or just
That's
so
why
it's
I'm
like,
telling you.
But I'm just trying to come up with what's the middle linebacker's name real fast?
Schobert?
No.
Devin Bush?
Devin Bush. So maybe Bush, Juju, and
Joe Hayden?
No, he's too
Hayden's
old.
serviceable.
He's too old.
You said good. You didn't say great. You said good.
Yeah, but they would want younger. You know what I mean?
Once again, I'm just saying what you're basing off of quality player. Joe Hayden can start for an NFL team.
Okay,
especially
sure. Well, that's just for hypothetical. Those are the 3 players: Juju, Bush, and Joe Hayden, and 3 first-round draft picks.
So
and you get Pat Mahomes.
Right now, and this is rough to say, I probably would take it. Just because of Pat Mahomes, and he is the generational quarterback. And the reason why, and remember, listen back through the rest of this episode, I already said at the end of the offseason, they need to move on from Joe Hayden. They need to move on from Juju at the end of the offseason. So right off the bat, I'm already in that trade. I'm already talking about 2 guys that I was willing to not just bring back.
Okay.
Devin Bush is the only real guy there that, okay, I'm looking at this from, this is a guy I was going to.
Oh, there's that. You missed it. That was the post Cedric Wilson where he just like completely spun him.
Not
Diggs.
Nonetheless, that
I wouldn't even give up 3 first-rounders.
Once again, it's a generational quarterback. If you told me Deshaun Watson, honestly, I can tell you right now, if you told me any other quarterback but Mahomes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mahomes might be the one quarterback who's worth 3 or 4 first-round draft picks.
I know.
Look at that.
I know.
Unreal.
Once again, that's more proof of why I'm saying
Mahomes as good as Mahomes is in a different uniform? Without Andy Reid, without Tyreek Hill, without Kelsey.
Not off the bat, but just like Brady left the Patriots to go to the Bucks, and Brady just shelled out with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Same thing. I think Mahomes is at that level now that he changes the game. It's not the Reid system. Now it's Mahomes changing the game. At first, yes, I told you before. At first, it's who you go to as your coach, but eventually it becomes about you. And I think he goes to any team and just elevates any team.
My point, whether it came across or not, is the ask from the Houston Texans right now.
It's 3-3, yeah.
It's literally him saying, like, I'm not trading him. He's sitting on my bench, and he signed that contract. And he's going to eat his career.
As admirable as that is, you're paying him $40 million a year to sit on the bench, and your team is going to suck because you don't want draft picks.
But you remember, it's just the type of person. I remember when Zeke was holding out for a better contract. He had 2 years left on his deal, and I was like, let the fucker sit out. Let him sit out all year. I don't care.
The guy doesn't want to play for you. Let him hold out. Collect your $50,000 a game back.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't want to play for you. You're paying him to sit at home, not even have him on the sideline. You're telling him to sit inactive at home.
Yeah, I think I would probably make him come to.
I was gonna say you're not even putting him in the stadium.
Like, you need to suit up. You need to sit your ass on the bench.
You're sitting him at home for $40 million.
Right.
That's stupid.
Yeah, that is stupid. I'll admit that. But I'm a very if you sign a contract. And look, I understand.
Once again, I get it, but I'm thinking from a smart business decision, not just an ethical, but a smart business decision.
Well, everybody always says the owners are always screwing players over. Like, they'll cut you the second that you're worthless.
And they will. That's true.
But at the same time, like when you sign it, like when Zeke Elliott signs a contract as a rookie to play for 5 years, you're playing for 5 years, bro. Like,
well, once again, goes back to the ethical part. When you get promises in those negotiations and then the team doesn't live down to the promises, where does that come into play? Because trust is a big deal.
I mean, what's the promise?
You appreciate trust, right?
What's the promise, though?
They told him he'd be involved in the head coaching decision. That came out already, that he was promised that.
I'm talking about Zeke, though.
I have no idea what Zeke, but I'm talking.
Zeke had 2 years left on his deal. like it when we just paid, I would have been like, Tony Pollard, you're rookie, you're starting,
Right.
like I wouldn't care. I'd be like, we're Zeke, you're great, but
Deshaun situation, or not Deshaun, Zeke situation, really don't know. That's your expertise. But the Deshaun situation, okay, so first of all, you lied to your star quarterback that you just signed and made him feel like he's going to be part of things. So yes, you heard him, and then you made a trade and got rid of D-Hop. You got rid of for David Johnson, who's not even your starter anymore, and you gave up a draft pick with D-Hop to get David Johnson.
yes, he's your third string running back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
get me wrong, the organization's made some horrible moves.
And I used to think it was the head coach that was the idiot, and maybe he is, but geez, the rest of that organization's an idiot.
No, whoever's running that organization is not very sound decision.
Yeah, I'm not all against Bill O'Brien anymore like I was at first. Originally, I thought it was him. I'm not necessarily against him anymore.
I would, but the one decision I do sit behind is like whether you force him to come play or not. Yeah, you signed that contract. You were the quarterback of the Houston Texans, whether you like it or not.
I get it. You're paying $40 million though, and you're sitting him at home in sweats watching football.
Wait, for a lot of these owners, dude, $40 million,
it's still
nothing,
dude. Do you like to build a team? Do you want your team to win?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
so
want my
if
team
you
to win.
trade him and get three first round picks, nothing else, just 3 first round picks that you don't have at all. You haven't had a first round pick in like 3 years because of the stupid trades.
But you have to ask yourself, if you're a stubborn old businessman who knows that even with Deshaun Watson or with the 3 first round picks, you're not going to have a winning team anyway.
At least you can build your team. And if you trade him, you can get that $40 million off your books.
I'm on their side.
That's great. And I think it's an idiot.
If I was a Texans fan, I'd be 100% behind the decision to not trade Watson.
Yet the Texans fans are defending Deshaun.
Of course they are, but I wouldn't.
I'm just telling you.
I'm just saying I wouldn't. I'd be like, yeah, you need to sit your ass down.
I'm not defending Deshaun because I really can give a shit less what happens to him because I don't think a lot of the sexual stuff is real. I think actually the Texans, and I shouldn't say this because it was recorded and
it's live. It's not even recorded. It's our first live show. We're live on YouTube.
Right. But nonetheless, I think it's done.
You think what's done?
The Texans.
Oh, I thought you were going to go into the section.
No, I'm not going to go into it.
You're not going to touch it?
I'm not touching it. It's live. It will get banned as soon as it's done.
Why does Deshaun Watson need rubbing tugs? I mean, come on.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
It's fake.
It's
It's going to come out that it was fake. That's why there's no verification of any of it.
I mean, I think with the large percentage of those type of accusations, they're probably
it's a money grab.
Yeah, that's money.
And it could be as crazy as the team is instigating it to keep him from having that love.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Once again, I could see it being a thing.
That'd be crazy.
With how shitty the Texans have Ben, I could see that being a thing in Texas and down there in Houston.
Well, Sean, it's 21-0 at halftime.
Well, let's do Kids Corner.
Kids Corner.
Yeah.
Well,
halftime.
You don't want to give me props for my pick yet, or you don't think it's over yet?
It's not over yet.
Okay.
It's halftime.
All right. John thinks that the Raiders are going to come back. Kids Corner.
Kids Corner.
Who goes first this week? I think I went first last week.
I think you did too.
Okay.
I can go first.
What you got?
So this one's for my wife. So this week, usually I go to T-ball. Assistant coach.
Yeah.
Great time. I didn't get to make it to T-ball this week. Man, did Grayson go wild. I got to hear about it all week, about what's going on. How do I handle this? I've never had it. I've been the coach with him 3 games this season, all last season. Never had him go wild on the field. But I also, when he starts to get a little bit out of hand, automatically, come on, reel it back in. However, my wife told me he was doing cartwheels, throwing dirt on other kids this week, standing behind the batting net, saying you're going to swing and miss to players on his team.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope, I wasn't happy. Oh, yeah. Dad was mad when he got home.
One thing to throw some dirt around and do cartwheels.
Dad was mad when he got home when I heard that part. And he got to hear about it. He did not feel happy talking to Dad about that afterwards. But getting back to my wife, geez, what's going on? You put Mama through some issues when I'm not around for one practice.
I missed one practice.
And you're that child.
Oh boy.
And you've met him before. He's not typically, he plays around, he jokes around, but he's not bad.
I don't think any of our kids are bad.
But you have that practice when I'm not around. Jeez. Yeah, he got an earful that night.
Well, mom doesn't coach though, right? You're an assistant coach, aren't you?
She didn't know what to do. She didn't know if she should go on the field and reprimand them. She said the head coach wasn't doing anything about it, wasn't like stopping them.
Oh, we're not. I mean, we could try.
I stopped some of the other kids. I don't do anything, obviously.
Oh, right. Yeah,
physically,
yeah.
but
You just try to talk to them. And
I stop them and say, hey, that's not how we're doing things.
Right.
You need to go listen to your coach or your spot on the field. So,
Yeah.
But supposedly coach wasn't doing that with him during the game or not during the game, but during the practice. And Sam didn't know what to do because she's like, do I go on the field? I see other moms out here. None of them are going on the field to correct anything. I don't know what to tell you. Oh,
Chargers flying around right now.
Right. Nonetheless, we had a day.
He had a day.
We had a day.
You didn't tell the follow up to that though.
What do you want to know is the follow up?
What happened the next morning with Grayson?
What?
You told me about it in the office. He said he acted out at baseball.
Oh, because my mom instigates me.
Oh, we might be talking about two different things. Didn't he wake up the next morning and like write out a bunch of like he told your wife to like remarry you and stuff?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes. He woke up the following morning and wrote 2 cards. He gave Dad a card that was a heart saying, I love you, Dad. Okay, you know Dad's mad at how you acted. And he gave my wife a card to give to Dad saying that Sean, my name, will you marry me? I love you. Heart Samantha. But Grayson created it, gave it to my wife, said give it to Dad.
Hey, you gotta give the kid an A for effort there.
He went to Maul, his great grandmother, to write it for him.
You gotta give the kid A for effort.
And I was a little confused because I overheard him while he was making it with her, telling her what to write, saying, right, will you marry me, Sean? On the card. And I'm like, a little confused here.
It's just funny that like at the age of 5, like he already knows like this is what I need to do to make my parents forget that I was
I'm sweet, I'm cute, I'm lovable.
right. Exactly.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Like us guys, we know if we piss off our wives, we need to do something nice, buy him flowers, try. Like he's already in the mindset. He's 5 years old.
Yeah,
you're creating a future great husband for some lady. That,
he's just like I said. He has his moments just like every kid does. He just he needed Dad there because Dad's the one who reels him back in on those things. So
yeah, I'm the same way. I'm more the disciplinarian and the like especially in sports.
It's weird because I'm also the one that when it comes to nighttime, if he's laying down, if he wants cuddled, he doesn't ask for my wife. He says, Dad, will you cuddle with me? So I'm also that one.
Yeah.
So I kind of
yeah, I don't get that a whole lot anymore these days. Back maybe when he was like when Olivia was 5, she was a daddy's girl for sure.
That Grayson is, and Sam said it to you yesterday, that me and Grayson are like 2 peas in a pod. And her and Ollie are more similar.
Well, it's just funny because both of us have the same type of situation, right? So the older kid's more like me and the younger kid's more like my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is I think that, and I'm probably going to get ridiculed for saying this because they do sometimes tune in and listen. I think that both our wives are the more, I don't want to say is stubborn the right word.
My wife's definitely more stubborn. I love her.
Yeah, like just it's their way. They got to have it their way. They like it their way. They, and it's like if you and I are kind of more like easygoing, like we'll ride with the flow a little bit, know. But yeah, it's just entertaining to see how that works out. Like literally, my daughter is like we shook our DNA in a bottle, and like 80% of me floated to the top,
right?
And that's what we got. And then my son had shook it in the bottle, 80% of her floated to the top. And he's got a little bit of me, but he's got a lot of my wife, and vice versa. So let's see. I'm trying to think. So we did our show on Tuesday last week.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So I had a couple kids corners lined up in my head. My daughter recently decided that she is going to. I've done a lot of Roman ones, so I figured I was going to try and get some live
makes
on
sense.
My daughter recently decided that she was going to give up one of her 2 dance days, and she was going to play basketball.
Yeah. I think we definitely have had a basketball story recently.
Yeah. So in our school district, they start playing basketball in 3rd grade. My daughter's in 5th grade now. And we show up to basketball and she's significantly behind, which I think was one of my kids' corners. Like,
I definitely remember
significally
something like that, yes.
behind.
There was a
talent.
game too that she played like 5 seconds or 12 seconds.
Yeah. So now what we're doing is we switched off now. So on Wednesdays, I used to take Roman to wrestling and she would live off of dance and now basketball. So now we're switching because her games are on Wednesday night. And the weird thing is like they have practice on Monday nights for basketball and then games on Wednesday. But then like she's been on the team for 4 weeks now. They've had 1 practice. It's like, how the hell is she going to get better? Right. So I started on Wednesday nights. Her games are like at 8:15 or something like that. So I've been, ouch.
Do you see that play though?
Yeah.
He kept himself in balance and pushed himself past the first line.
Yeah. Renfro's a beast. I like Renfro. But I started taking her. So I'll get home, eat dinner, and then we'll go out to the basketball court and we'll practice for a couple of hours. Yeah. And you know, that's what we did last week. We went out and practiced. And then she actually I explained to her they run the 2-3 defense. And I explained to her what her role would be in every single position. But the problem is, big problem here, they don't really run an offense. They have a couple girls that are really good at handles, and one of them is always on the floor at one time, and they just run around in circles and pass the ball back and forth until one of them gets close enough for a layup and they put it in. So I'm trying to think of like, how can I effectively teach Olivia how to run that offense or how to be in that offense, right? Because she was wide open when she was in, and the girl just dribbled in circles around and eventually got a layup, right? And it's like, not that
picks.
Yeah, instead of pick, but did they do picks at that age? I don't
Probably
even know.
not.
I didn't see a whole lot
Probably
of picks in the games I watched. So yeah, it's very interesting. I really wish she would have got in 3rd grade instead of 5th grade because she's behind right now. So we got to catch up. But so Wednesday we will have practice number 2 of daddy-daughter practice, and we're gonna work on some different things. So hopefully we get better. And she did go with me when I got vaccinated, so we had a little daddy-daughter time. She would not go in the room.
Of course not. Nobody wants to see it.
She didn't want to see it. She wouldn't go in the room. But yeah, so we got a little daddy-daughter time.
Nice.
Nothing too crazy.
Jeez. We have easy stories this week.
I know. Yeah. I mean, hey, we both went to the Hickory Apple Fest, right?
That is true. I thought I dropped something. That's why I was looking down. I didn't.
Oh, okay. And what our kids did, they sifted through some shit for some shit.
Some rocks to take home.
They rode a train ride. They'll always face on the train ride with epic. Just those glares at him.
The sour face.
He just gets these glares and like he doesn't smile that much.
You should see some of the laughing ones though when he has his smiles.
Oh, his laugh is amazing when he does actually laugh, which I finally got him laughing at me a little bit, so I'm pretty happy about that. So oh, there's a smile. That's adorable.
He pulls up his shirt.
Yeah, he pulls up his shirt a lot. He's always trying to show off his belly.
Grayson does it too. Did it too.
That's where he gets it from. He gets it from brother.
We were making funny faces, but
fatherhood, man. What is he naked in this picture?
This is right after a bath. There's a mirror behind me.
Yeah.
He checks himself out in it.
Yeah.
And he's getting.
I think all guys like to check themselves out in the mirror.
He's not in that picture. He's not even looking at me. Or the camera. He's looking behind me.
1884.
Cheers to kids.
Unofficial sponsor. Cheers to kids. Cheers to our first live episode. That was a train wreck. Oh, the second one was way worse.
I don't even have a drink left.
I saved a little swig just for that.
Whew.
Deuces on that note. We'll get better at the live thing, I hope.
Maybe.
Hopefully.